Thanks to the action of wind and sand and time on Mars, strange rock formations arise that occasionally resemble familiar features, while other times they just look bizarre. The latest example from Perseverance seems to merge the two. On this episode of Mars Guy, Perseverance has completed its months-long exploration of a place known as Witch Hazel Hill on the outer rim of Jezero Crater, and it's now exploring a new feature with the evocative name Crocodillen, the Norwegian word for crocodile. This comes from the name of a rocky ridge on the Norwegian island of Svalbard, home to Forlandet National Park. The Perseverance team uses the names from national parks on Earth to name features in Jezero Crater. Perseverance crossed into these notably light-toned rocks of Crocodillen in late May. It was greeted with some remarkably continuous exposures of outcrop. Here's Mars Guy for scale. This demonstrates that the erosion rate of these rocks outpaces the buildup of regolith, the sand and gravel products of meteorite impacts, which is the more common occurrence than outcrops on Mars. There's an etched look to these slabs with parallel ridges that attest to the sandblasting action of winds from a dominant direction. Curiously, there are also wind-eroded rocks nearby that significantly depart from the uniform look of the eroded rocks surrounding Perseverance. This small knob of rocks literally stands out among the sand ripples that surround it. It was captured by the zoom lens of Mastcam Z in a mosaic of images beautifully rendered by Neville Thompson. When I first saw the close-up view of these rocks, I was reminded of gargoyles and other grotesques on buildings. And yes, grotesque is both an adjective and a noun. There's a hollowing out and rounding of these rocks that likely requires both chemical erosion, better known as weathering, and mechanical erosion by sandblasting, and perhaps even freeze-thaw action. There's a second collection of grotesque rocks nearby, including one that's been completely hollowed out on its underside, making it look like a figure in an extreme backbend. Apparently, there's something about these rocks that lends itself to erosion into such bizarre forms. I was reminded of ignimbrite deposits I've seen in Chile, where natural erosion has sculpted the rocks into sometimes recognizable forms. These are sedimentary rocks deposited by pyroclastic flows of cataclysmic explosive volcanic eruptions. The resulting rocks apparently are susceptible to erosion that can result in strange and amusing shapes, and in this case, even forming a crocodile shape. Coincidence? Definitely yes. But ignimbrite deposits are at least a candidate for the rocks of the Crocodillen feature on Mars. After abrading a spot for a closer look with the arm-mounted science instruments, Perseverance departed this place. It drove back across Crocodillen and started up the slope of the Jezero Crater rim to reach the light-toned rocks on the other side. The view from this elevated perch provided an epic look back at the tracks, which were photobombed by a dust devil, another in a string of recent sightings. It's nicely fitting that this dust devil was observed in the vicinity of the Martian gargoyles. Over millions of years, a multitude of dust devils has contributed to their formation.